Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. His name is Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. Today is Tuesday, November 1st. This is a live show we do every morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, where we give our official picks. Things are going well. Both Jim and I had a slight winning day yesterday, and Jim killed it in NHL, putting him officially, nicely, positive units for NHL. Jim the Bag. I'll be quite frank right now. I didn't think you had it in you. I didn't think you had it in you. No, I thought you had it in you. I'm kidding around, but it's good to see. I thought you had it in you. We talked about it, and that's that's how sports betting goes. That's how life goes in general. When you get down, you got to focus. Can't trust the process, as they say. And Jim was down a whole bunch of units a few short days ago, and that's what we said on the show. We were like, couple of nice winning days, a couple puck lines thrown in, and you'll be in the black in no time. And I'll be damned if that didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm very thankful, but I know it can change very quickly.
Absolutely, yes. As quickly as things can go up, thank you very much, things can go south. But as of right now, Tuesday, November 1st, we are congratulating Jim the Bag for being positive in NHL, which I believe now puts you positive in everything, as am I positive in everything. So that's pretty overall impressive for both of us.
Yeah, it's
very
great.
Nicely done, Jim the Bag. Thanks so much for all the positive comments yesterday. Everything's going great except for my my internet connection. I don't use an antivirus on my computer, so I think the chickens came home to roost last night when I was. So I'm glad that I was very well rested and I could sit there and wait for each page to load for 15 minutes, but I did do my research. All right, enough jokes, enough self-congratulations, enough shenanigans. Let's get into the hardcore handicapping and picks, because there's a lot of stuff on the card today, and a bunch of things that I think I'm seeing. I'm feeling like I'm going to have another pretty good positive day. We'll see how Jim's feeling about this card and what his picks wind up being. Of course, we have Game 7 in the World Series. Well, let's just start off with that. Let's not spend too much time on it because we got a lot of other stuff to cover, but Game 7 in the World Series, Jim, you did have a loser in the MLB last night, but you are still overall positive in MLB in our show, 8-5, and of course my record. Let's just quickly discuss that. Overall in baseball, my record on the year, 329 and 289. Plus 11 units, plus 1.5% ROI. But I started off the year great. Then I had a terrible run in the middle of the year. And then do you know what I did? I don't know if you followed the show, but I wore a Yankees jersey for good luck one day, July 1st. And I was like, I'm not going to take this one off until I have a losing day. And it went for a while until I had a losing day. And it did bring me good luck. Since I did that, my record, since that, it was July 5th, right? Since July 5th in MLB, my record 183 and 134, up 37 units, up 10% ROI. Woo. So sometimes I guess that superstitious stuff does actually work. Jim, you are 8-5 in MLB, plus 2.5 units, plus 15% ROI. Game 7 here tonight, I don't know. I guess I would be leaning Houston because I've been sort of favoring Houston all season long, and tonight they are getting a decent underdog price here at about plus 118, plus 121 at the Greek, 122 at 5 times. What's your take on tonight's game, Jim?
Well, the Astros know Darvish very well, and that's the issue. I think I'm going to make one final official pick in baseball. I'm going to take the over.
Oh, okay.
I know that Kershaw and Keuchel are waiting in the wings, but as we saw with some of the best pitchers in the league, Scherzer, for example, when they come in the 5th inning or the 4th inning, you just don't know what to expect. I know that the big arms are waiting, but I think there's going to be runs. I think it's going to be an extremely exciting Game 7.
Wait, I'm sorry. I kept on saying today's Tuesday, November 1st. It's Wednesday, November 1st, right?
I missed that as well.
Yeah, I guess all the days run into each other. All right, so it's Wednesday, November 1st, and the over in tonight's game, 7.5. The best line would be plus 102 at Pinnacle. Can't say I disagree with that. Can't say I agree with it too strong. But no, I would say I mildly agree with it. If I was going to if you gave me a free play on the total, I would definitely put it on the over. So you want to make that one a final official pick?
That is my final official MLB pick of the year.
Over 7.5, plus 102. So Jim, win or lose, you are officially positive in MLB in the short time that you've been covering MLB with us. So congratulations on that one.
Thank you very much.
Win or lose, I'm officially positive, and win or lose, officially kicked ass since July 5th. Thanks to all the people who watch the MLB show day in and day out, where a low-hanging fruit became a catchphrase. And I think we might be able to start using it again because because of the chaos of the sports betting season right now, I sort of lost track of that. But there are I think there might be some low-hanging fruit in NHL today. We'll get to that in a bit. But all right, so Jim's on the over 7.5 plus 102. I mean, if I was going to take a shot with the side here, I would take Houston. Why don't you like Houston at plus 120? What would the argument be for that?
Well, the home team wins Game 7s
Yeah.
at such an enormously high rate. If I had a free play, I would take the Astros as well. But just the amount of times home teams win Game 7 is the reason why I think the Dodgers are still a pretty strong play.
Yeah. All right. You know what? Jesus Cabrera says Dodgers tonight. Sorry, Houston fans. Steven says I love when Jim does well. Yes, he has a very bright, innocent, childlike smile, which is just a joy to watch when he picks a couple winners in NHL. Absolutely. All right.
It goes away fast.
Yes, absolutely. Then he has the face of a baby-faced murderer. Yeah. No. I'm kidding around. No, I'm kidding around. All right, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I guess. Not a whole lot of comments here. A lot of people saying that they like the Dodgers. CC924 saying I got in on Dodgers after Game 5 at plus 230. Very nice, CC924. Cody AV likes the Dodgers money line. I can understand why that is. All right, I'm just going to pass on it. I know that's a little bit boring, but I really don't have a pick that I'm liking here at all. If I had something that I liked in any way, shape, or form, I would give it. But if you gave me a free play on the side, I'd take Houston. If you gave me a free play on the total, I'd take the over. But I'm going to pass on that one. Jim is giving an official pick, MLB over 7.5 plus 102. And let's move on. Okay, Jim?
Yep.
All right. Once again, nice job in MLB. All right. Let's see. What would you like to start with? Let's go to NHL because I think we might be seeing some low-hanging fruit here. I don't know if you agree with me, but I don't know if this is really. I mean, in MLB, low-hanging fruit was just starting pitchers usually who were very clear auto fades and sometimes very clear auto play-ons. In this situation, it's not necessarily because of the teams involved, but because of the situation, and that would be the Chicago Blackhawks, right? They're highly rested. They're very rested. They're pissed off. They're surly. They've been losing a bunch of games in a row. Philadelphia has some injuries. They're very beatable, and I bet this one pretty big on the over. My max play on the overnight line, it's definitely moved since then. I think I got it at like 134 or something like that. So I got the opening line, got a good line on it. It's moved up, but I would still bet at the line it is right now, which would be minus 143 at betonlinesportsbetting.ag, and I would take it on the puck line. Is this low-hanging fruit, Jim?
This is low-hanging fruit.
Yeah,
you are absolutely right. The issue with the Flyers, and the reason why they're in such big trouble, is the injuries on the back end. Ghost Despair, McDonald out with injuries, which means 4 of the team's 7 active defensemen are rookies. That is bad. Nolan Patrick's also out with an injury. Brian Elliott is starting and has not looked very good. Philadelphia continues to be the goalie graveyard it's been for decades, since Ron Hextall, I guess. He's got a 3.23 goals against average, 884 save percentage. So I'm not only taking the Blackhawks by the puck line as an official pick, I am also taking the over.
Yes, that's the other one that I bet. I did bet that one as well. I bet the over. I felt like that one was not necessarily a no-brainer, but a solid play. And I guess I will be on that one as well. And I also said that by the implication, the team total over would be good as well. It's not 3, it is 3.5, but plus 146. I don't think I'm going to double up on or triple up on it though.
I'm not going to triple up on it either.
All right, I'm going to take the Blackhawks -1 though. That will be minus 143 on the money line part, and the puck line part of that will be plus 200 at the Greek. And I will also take the over, which is 5.5 minus 114. Jim is on the over as well. And Jim, how do you want to go on Chicago?
Puck line.
All right, Chicago puck line. That's going to be plus 200
like it.
At the Greek. Of course, line shopping is the name of the game in sports betting. I am using SBR odds for all of these lines, line shopping for the best available line. And to find out about all these books that we discuss, go to sportsbookreview.com, where you can find out all the very important information that you need to know about all these books. And if you want to get personal opinions, you can go to the forums and people talk about their experiences with all these books. sportsbookreview.com. That was a pretty good plug, right?
That was a great plug.
So I'm on Chicago -1. Jim is on the Chicago puck line, which is plus 200 at the Greek best line. We are both on the over at 5.5 minus -114. And then, I don't know, I guess I'll pass on the team total, but 3.5 plus 146. I'm sure that other places have 3 at like -110 or something like that. What do you think about that?
I think it's a good play. The issue is just tripling up.
Yeah.
I finally got back in the black, and I don't want one mistake, one game to.
Speaking of being in the black, let's take a few seconds to announce our records in NHL, right? My record in NHL, 31-26, but that's an average line of +105, so that's +7 units, +11% ROI. Jim, 39-38, but that's an average line of +102, and that is +2.3 units, +2.5% ROI, which is very nice considering only a few days ago Jim was negative. So the last 3 days have been killer for Jim the Bag. Nice job, Jim. We knew the breaks were going to go your way. As we were talking about it, we were like, yes, you're negative units, but the way the games have gone, you've come out on the wrong side of a couple of lucky breaks as far as puck lines were concerned, as far as overtimes were concerned, and we thought that those things were going to even out, which they do in hockey. A lot of volatility in hockey, and Jim, your early season results are very illustrative of that, right?
Yeah, I do think things can change so quickly, especially on days like this when there's so many games that I like. So it feels so nice. Yes. I can sleep at night knowing I'm in the black, but I know that it's...
Maybe we should write a song called "It Feels So Nice. I know I can sleep at night knowing I'm in the black."
Well, you have a great...
We should write some gambling
voice.
songs, right?
We should write some gambling songs.
I can sleep at night knowing I'm in the black. Something like that. All right, so
man, let's get the Jameson.
Let's do it. Yes,
fucked up, man.
Another bet that I made on the overnight was the under in Nashville, San Jose. Let's talk about that one, Jim. Obviously, San Jose has been winning. You were kind of down on them to start the year, and they haven't been that bad. They haven't been awesome, but they haven't been that bad. Nashville definitely been having problems scoring, though. Pekka Rinne definitely picking it up, and Jones, of course, in goal for San Jose has been playing lights out. I'm not exactly sure how long that's going to be able to continue, but I did take a shot with the under. I got a pretty good line. I think I got 113 on it, under 5.5 -113. It's now down to about, well, there's still 114 at betonlinesportsbetting.ag. And I would also be leaning to the first period under. When I took the Kings under a few days ago, I also had the first period under, and that was on Monday actually because I gave it in the Donnie morning show, and I said I like the first period under more. First period was scoreless, and the full game wound up going over with an empty netter, 4-2. So I'd be leaning under here. I did bet that one, and the first period under, which I will bet as soon as this show's over. As far as the side is concerned, my gut's telling me that it might be a bounce back spot for Nashville, but what's your take on this one, Jim?
You're right. I was not high on the Sharks coming into the season, and they had a good road trip. Yeah. Then they came back, beat the Leafs 3-2 on Monday night. Big Joe Thornton is turning back the hands of time, points in 6 of his last 7 games. But the key for the Sharks is Martin Jones is playing very well. He's allowed just 9 goals in his last 6 games. Now, the Predators are coming off a bad home loss, but it was their backup goaltender in net. They are 7th in goals allowed and 7th in power play. That is a recipe for wins in the NHL. Pekka Rinne, as I said, was not in goal for the loss, had a very good start to the season. I see the under as a very good play, but I am going to take a shot with the Nashville Predators.
That's what I was thinking as well.
On the road. I think this is a good spot. And I still don't trust the Sharks. As you know, they're a slow, old hockey team, and they have a lot of veteran leadership. So they're not going to have big slumps, and they're going to be able to they're an okay team.
Yeah.
But I think the Predators could be a very good team.
Well, the best line is +122. I did bet this one on the overnight line, and I didn't get a very good line. I think I got +112 or something like that. Now it's all the way up to a +122. And what do you think about maybe the Sharks team total under, which would be under 2.5, +131?
I think that is a
decent play.
I think that play makes sense. I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, I think Pekka Rinne, I think the actual full game under is probably the best play out of the two. I think it's going to be a tough game. But if anybody was going to break out and put some pucks in the net, I really think it'll be these Nashville Predators. Right.
Okay, so you're just going to take Nashville +122 and you're not going to touch the under.
That's right. But my lean would be on the under, but I'm just going to stick with the Predators.
See, this is one of these games where I have slight leans to 4 different plays. They're all related. I have a lean to Nashville. I have a lean to the San Jose team total under. I have a lean to the under and the first period under. I could give it all, but I don't want to quadruple up. Although I could quadruple up. I mean, I've been wanting to give my leans more in NHL because my leans have been killing it in NHL, even more than my regular picks. But I don't know if I want to give all 4 of those. I mean, mean, what's your sense? I hate it when I give when I give an under and I try to get too cute. I give the first period under and it winds up being like 2-0 after the first period and then goes under, and then I'm like, why did I do that? But on the other hand, the opposite can happen too, which happened in the LA Kings game. What's your sense on this one? Is your sense that both teams are going to have a hard time scoring here? And what's your take on Martin Jones? Is he for real?
I definitely think Martin Jones is for real. I think these are arguably the two hottest goaltenders in the NHL.
Right.
So the more I talk about it, the more I want to take the under. Martin Jones clearly, I mean, he's had two completely different halves to this short season. He was very susceptible in the first half, and now he's looking very good. He's somewhere in between. And my worry is just that the Predator, if anybody was going to light it up, it'd be Nashville. I do not think San Jose is going to be able to score over 2.5 goals. Now, the only worry I would have with the San Jose situation is a 2-2 hockey game, or the Sharks leading 2-1 with a minute left and pulling the goalie,
which is entirely possible. All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I will try to get a little bit cute. I bet the under on the full game, and I'll be betting the first period under as well. For my official pick, I will give the first period under 1.5 minus 105. If it loses, I'll eat 1.05 units. So I'll definitely be on the first period under. As far as the side is concerned, my gut tells me to take Nashville. I was thinking maybe about, what do you think about Nashville on the plus 1.5 line, because those can be very tricky, but this definitely feels like one of these games where if San Jose wins, it'll be like in overtime or something like that. What's your take on that?
Well, what's the number? Are you going?
Well, the number, and sometimes I do like a +1, so Nashville will be like minus 170 at the +1. The plus 1.5 line where you win, even if Nashville loses by 1, is all the way up into the 250s or 245 at Pinnacle. But I would be thinking taking Nashville at +1, which would be about, I think, 160 or 170.
I think that the danger that we will always find is the empty net goal.
Yes.
And it's just it's imminent danger.
Yeah. All right, I will go on Nashville on the money line with you. If it loses, I'll eat the unit. Nashville plus 122, and the first period under 1.5 minus 105. And I would also have a lean to the under on the full game and the San Jose team total under as well. All right, now let's move on to Pittsburgh Edmonton. This is a very interesting game. I'm not going to touch this one at all. Pittsburgh is having some serious issues offensively, and Edmonton's been having some serious issues offensively as well. But both teams, just in their lineup, look like they should be explosively scoring or have the capability to be explosively scoring at any time. The last time they met was very low scoring, and that was a game where I took the under. And did you go on the under with us last time? Because I took the under, and a bunch of people in the comment section said they liked the under as well. There was one guy who said, remember, one guy said 6.5 goals, way too high.
Yeah.
I remember that comment. I don't remember if you tailed it, but the point is that we were on it. But still, both these teams can a big offensive explosion would not be a surprise at any time. And adding it into that is that Pittsburgh is off of a big blowout loss. They've been blown out twice this year, bounced back the next game with a win, and wouldn't be surprised if in this game it came because of an offensive explosion. So this is going to be a pass for me, but if you have anything to say, it's very interesting. Do you have anything to say about it, Jim?
I do, and I have an official pick. I'm also going to put this bottle away before I start drinking it.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to take the under in this game.
Okay.
First off, the Oilers have 22 goals this year. It's the fewest in the NHL. And they look bad. They're 31st in goals, 23rd in goals allowed, 29th in power play, and 30th in penalty killing. That is a recipe for losses. McDavid and Draisaitl are scoring, but no one else is. There was just a scathing article written about Peter Chiarelli's moves the last 2 seasons, and I agree with the article completely. He can't reasonably think they can score with Maroon and Lucic, Cassian, and Kagula playing big minutes. I think they've made a mistake. I think it all started with the Taylor Hall move. Number 1 overall picks are hard to find. Now, I know that cost control young defensemen are also hard to find, but not as hard to find as number 1 overall picks. Now, the Penguins are still searching for a backup goalie, but that's about their only issue. They're missing Schultz and Hunwick on the back end, but I think they're going to be just fine. And I've hit with them 2 games in a row on the under. And when they play guys like McDavid and Draisaitl, they really try to shut the ice down and not allow space for these 2 big, fast forwards. And the under, it's 6. I think that's a really nice spot, and I'm going to take the under here.
All right, 6 minus 113 is the best line right now at Pinnacle. That's what I was thinking as well. I was just worried that it's a little bit too obvious and that the rosters of both teams indicate that at some point an offensive explosion could be in the offing, but you think that that's not likely to happen here?
The Oilers are a big slow hockey team now with the fastest player in the NHL. But Lucic, Cassie, and these guys are big, tough forwards, and Pittsburgh can play like that. And they will close off all the space for McDavid and Draisaitl. They're a poised, veteran team, and they will not, under any circumstances, open it up against that first line. And that's it. Now Edmonton separated McDavid and Draisaitl on the power play units. They're panicking because they have no secondary scoring, and there's no secondary scoring on their roster, and they don't have a lot. They're going to have to trade a first-round pick to get anything.
I'm thinking about whether I should tail you on this one or not, because I had it the first time. Why wouldn't I take it here? It just feels like there might be a little bit of a change here, but all right, I will...
These two teams played a very tight game a week and a half ago. It was 2-1. Penguins won in overtime or shoot. I can't remember exactly. But I see the same type of game happening again.
Yeah.
The reason why the 6 total is not 5.5 is just because of guys like McDavid.
Right.
Names.
And Crosby. All right, I'll take it. I'll go on it. I'll tail you as well. Pitt, Edmonton. That's a tail here. I mean, it's a partial tail. It's a lean. It's a lean, but on my own. And I think I did actually bet it a little bit on the overnight line just because I had to. But it's just something about it makes me feel like it's just trappy considering how the first game went. But okay. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Pitt, Edmonton under 6 minus 113. Some people are talking about me in the chat. I want to go check that out. But all right, so Pittsburgh, Edmonton. Jim and I are both on the under 6 minus 113. Okay, I'm trusting you here on this one. But if it loses, don't worry about it. Not at all a problem. Then the fourth game, New Jersey, Vancouver, and similar to the Pittsburgh Edmonton game, being sort of an obvious play on the under, but I was double thinking myself, and maybe it's trappy. New Jersey, Vancouver seems like a little bit of an obvious play on the over at 5.5. I did bet that one. Obviously, New Jersey scoring a lot. Vancouver picked it up a bit offensively recently, and what do you think about the over 5.5 here?
I'm not comfortable with the Canucks offense, and I know they have a couple games where they put up big numbers, but the Canucks are 3rd in the league in goals against and 8th in penalty killing. I think they're going to be very valuable as an under team moving forward. Now, the reason why I won't make an official pick right now is because the Devils are a high-flying offensive team. Taylor Hall, as we just spoke about, 13 points in 10 games. You know, the Canucks are getting Brock Boeser back. Markstrom looked really good in the shootout loss, and he's concerned about keeping his job. I think he's going to play well.
Right.
I can't trust the Canucks to score goals, but I can trust the Canucks to keep goals out of their net. And so because of the Devils' high-flying nature, I'm just not going to make an official pick. And
I was thinking maybe it's a good spot. Yeah, Markstrom is been playing well, and he might be about to go on an extended run of excellent play. Do you think that's possible?
I think that is possible. Now, he was the goalie of the year in the AHL 2 years ago, and we thought we had a star coming up on our hands in Vancouver, and we don't know if that is the case anymore. He's still, I mean, if you look at the two goalies that we have, Nilsson has 2 shutouts this year. Markstrom has never had a shutout in the NHL in over 70 games. But if you are the goalie of the year in the AHL, that usually means that you will transition to an elite goalie in the NHL. And I expect that to happen at some point. Now, I don't know if that's this year or next year, but I do believe that Markstrom will become a top-flight goaltender in the NHL at some point.
Okay. All right. So excellent. All right. So let's see. So we're going to pass on this one then.
Pass.
All right. And then the fifth game, I didn't look at it. Didn't have an overnight line. Toronto against Anaheim. Kind of some weird opening lines here. I'm seeing minus 102 for Toronto, minus 108. So close to even at BetOnlineSportsBetting.ag. Do you have anything to say about this one, Jim?
Well, yeah, the Ducks are playing so well. They just won 3 of 4 on a tough Eastern swing, and then they lose Ryan Getzlaf again. He takes a puck to the face, out for 3 games. He's had such a hard luck year. It means Ricard Raquel will center the top line with Perry and Ritchie. The Leafs are scuffling. 18 shots on goal is all they could do against the Sharks. They've lost 3 straight. They've been held to 7 goals in 3 games. I mean, this is a very tough spot. Now, because of no Getzlaf, my lean is to go under, but I just can't make that move because Getzlaf, even though he's an offensive forward, he's extremely important down low, and he wins faceoffs. He's always out there for the big draws, and I'm just going to leave this game alone.
Okay, sounds good. So, Jim, we wind up actually being on a lot of plays together. Jim, you're on the Chicago puck line, the Chicago over, Nashville at plus 122, and Pitt Edmonton under 6 minus 113. That's it, right?
That is it.
And I'm on Chicago -1, also the Chicago over. So those are 2 plays I'm on Jim with. I'm also on Nashville +122. I'm on the first period under in the Nashville game. And I'm also on the under 6 -113 in the Pitt-Edmonton game with Jim. All right, so we're on mostly the same plays tonight, Jim. I hope that everything turns out okay for us in the end. The only thing I'm just like, the Pitt Edmonton game is just one where it's just like my gut is telling me that it just seems too obvious. Pittsburgh's score been so bad offensively recently, but don't worry about it.
I don't think the NHL works like that.
Yeah,
the Penguins weren't out at a nightclub in Edmonton last night.
Right.
I just don't think there's that concern like there is that concern in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
In this game in the NHL, I feel like what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
These guys are straightforward. And the Pens are going to play a tight game against the Oilers. And that I can count on.
Yes.
I can count on the Pens trying to shut down McDavid.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, Jim. Wow, you really know how to boost a guy's confidence when he's got a pick that he's tailed you on where he's a little bit shaky on. Let's move on to NBA, shall we?
Yep.
All right, moving on to NBA. Jim and I are both positive. Although last night I was coming off of I actually was 0-1. Jim was 0-2 last night, which is okay because overall we were positive on the day yesterday. Yesterday our overall records, Jim, I was let me see, I was 3-2 up 1 unit, and you were 3-3 up a half unit because of your puck line plays in hockey, and that is fine. That is positive units for the day. In the NBA though, we are still both positive. I'm 15-8 plus 6.5 units plus 26% ROI, and Jim, you are 21-17 plus 3.5 units plus 8.5% ROI. And if we can maintain anywhere close to that long term, those are excellent records. In the NBA, we have a massive card, so let's get into it. The first game that I think that jumps right out at me, again, this might qualify as low-hanging fruit, right? The LA Clippers. Did you look at this game, Jim? I mean, the LA Clippers, of course, coming off of 2 straight losses, including a blowout loss to a Golden State. Dallas has been not as futile as we were expecting, although they are. I think they're 2-6 against the spread on the year, something like that. I think Clippers have to be a good bet here, even at 9.5, and maybe an even better bet would be the Clippers on the first half, which is -5.5. What do you think about that, Jim?
I really like this game. I think there's money to be made here.
Mm-hmm.
But let me just start off before we get into all this NBA, just to say that don't let my smile fool you. When I decided in the afternoon to come into Peter's office and tell him that I decided to take the Detroit Pistons,
mm-hmm.
I was up at 3:15 this morning. I couldn't even make it till 4 a.m. I maybe got 3. I was so fucking angry.
Yeah.
I was so upset that I went against my gut, and it just bothers me so much.
Yeah.
And so don't let the smile that I walked in here fool you. I'm extremely, extremely upset that I went against my gut.
Yeah.
Now, let's get that out of the way. So I like the Clippers here, and I like the over.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yes, the Clippers are playing their starters too much. The Warriors double-teamed Griffin every chance, and they beat the Clips by 28. The Clips are not that bad of a team. The Mavs are that bad of a team.
Right.
They're 28th in rebounding. That's going to help the Clips. Also, the Mavs have committed 56 turnovers in their last 3 games, and that's what happens when you have a teenager running the show. I think the Clippers, when I woke up this morning, I was surprised that the over was 204. And it's gone down to 203 in a bunch of books.
I mean, I would have a lean to the over as well, and I was thinking maybe about the Clips team total over, which is 106.5 -107, or the Dallas team total under, which is 97.5 -120. Both of those were leans that I was thinking about. As you decide what you're going to do here, I will definitely put on the Clippers on the first half. Right now, I'm looking at it, and it's 5.5. There doesn't appear to be a Pinnacle line at a Pinnacle opener, so I will take the Pinnacle opener on this one, whatever it is. The first half on the Pinnacle opener should be 5.5. I'm hoping to get better than 5.5 -110. If it's 5.5 or 6, I will take that. I'll eat it. But Pinnacle opener on the first half for the Clippers. That's an official pick, Jim. What do you want to do with this game?
That is a great pick because I think if the Clippers are playing their starters way too much, so if they get up by 17 or 18, Doc's going to get everybody some rest. So I think that the first half is even more, I trust that more than the full game. You know what? I think there's money to be made in this basketball game. It jumped out at me. There's money to be made. I think I'm going to trip. I'm going to hit it. I'm going to throw 3 on it.
I'll get my pen ready.
I'm going to take the Clippers first half.
Okay.
I'm going to take the Clippers full game.
Okay.
And I'm going to take the over.
Okay. The full game I was thinking about as well. I mean, I definitely bet it when it came out. It hasn't moved yet. We're going to give you 9.5 minus 105, which is the pinnacle line. And I hear you on the over. I was thinking about the Clippers team total over or the Dallas team total under. Dallas, has a hard time in general. I think the Clippers will clamp down on defense here and hold them down a little bit. For the over, we can give you 203.5 minus 110 or 204 plus 102. Well, actually, bookmaker has 203 minus 110. I guess you should take that one. 203 minus 110. Clips over 203 minus 110. I was thinking about the Dallas under, and you know what? I will throw that one on there. I'll throw on the Dallas. So we're going a little bit head-to-head here, Jim. I'm going to take the Dallas team total under 97.5 minus 120, although it's entirely possible.
I think we can both win.
It's entirely possible. Yes, absolutely. Because also, like I said, I was leaning Clippers team total over as well. I'm going to look at some of these chat comments here. Why don't you hit us with another pick, Jim, while I scan some of these chat comments, see if anything's interesting.
Absolutely. I'm going to go again with the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're playing at the Pelicans. Now, the Pelicans just scored 35 points in the second half of their home loss to the Magic. And the Pelicans won all 3 games versus the Wolves last year. But the big difference is a guy I've called out and didn't expect him to play so well is Jeff Teague. I've been very impressed, and I did not. I've said a lot of negative things about him this year, but he played great. In their overtime win against the Heat, 23 points, 11 assists, 6 steals. He's hitting 54% from 3 this year, and if he's going to step up, because he almost lost his job. Thibodeau almost took the job away from early in the year. That's going to be a huge thing. And also, in one possession, I don't even know if I have this note here, but here it is. The Wolves are 4-0 in one possession games this year. And that's Butler. I mean, that's just this newfound confidence with these veterans adding to Wiggins and Towns. I think the Timberwolves are going to barely beat the Pelicans. And I like the spot.
Okay. So let's see. Here we go. Minnesota. You want them on the money line or on the spread? We got +2, and the money line for Minnesota would be like around +111.
Well, then I'm going to take the +2.
Okay, +2 minus 108 is the best line that we can give you right now. Minnesota +2 minus 108. Yes, bookmaker and BetDSI have 1.5, so they would appear to agree with your lean. Minnesota +2. I'm staying way off this one. I'm a little bit surprised that you took that one as a game that you wanted. I mean, obviously, I looked at it. It's an interesting game. Both these teams are teams that I'm looking to vaguely bet on in general, and the game just kind of scares me. I mean, the Pels. Look, I got burned on the Pelicans on their last game, or no, I didn't actually. I had the under on that one, which cashed, and then I had the Orlando team total under, which lost. But in general, the Pelicans are a team that I'm generally high on. Or do you disagree with that, Jim?
I do. I mean, we're going to have to see what happens when Rondo joins the fray. But picking up Jameer Nelson, I mean, that's not a sign of a strong team with depth. I mean, sure, Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins are absolutely incredible. But DeMarcus Cousins is one of those guys that you never know what the fuck he's going to do.
Yes.
He's Western Conference Player of the Week, and then he comes in. Do you know that he scored 10 points in the second quarter and only 2 points in the first, third, and fourth combined? You know what? With that, now I'm sure he's going to come back big, but I can trust the Wolves.
Okay, sounds good. Great comment here from Jarvis Wilson. Listen to this, Jimmy the Bag. Ready? Finally, I caught you guys' show live. I'm always at work when you're live, but I always tune in afterwards. But I just want to say that y'all show is awesome and very informative. Great job. Jarvis Wilson, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love reading stuff like that. And then I show people that. I'm like, you see, look at this shit. And then they're like, yeah, that's just like some guy you paid to have. And then I'm like, yeah, you think we paid 8 different people to do that? And they're like, oh, not bad, Loshak, not bad. All right, great. So let's see, Jim. Let's see, what else do we have here? Let's go to another game that I'll pick one of the games that I. Okay, well, let's talk about this one. Okay, let's talk about Indiana Cleveland. Right, obviously Cleveland has been a disaster this year. Right. They can't do anything. In Indiana, they're on a back-to-back, but you know, their players played 20, 25 minutes, and I'm thinking that the under might be a good play here, and I'm thinking that maybe Indiana getting all those points. I mean, should Cleveland be giving that many points to anyone? And I'm thinking that the Cleveland team total under might be a good play. What do you think, Jim?
I think the under is a good play, and it was my lean. And I have so many picks today that I've, at this point, maybe we talk it through, but at this point, I've left it off. So I think the Cavs are going to benefit from having a little bit of rest. They've obviously looked bad. They've lost 3 straight, 4 of their last 5. The last 2 have come by a combined margin of 41 points. Tyronn Lue has called them all out for not being in shape, especially LeBron. And I just think that they're going to come out and play well. Pacers
so does that mean well offensively or clamp down defensively?
I think that means clamp down defensively.
Right.
That's why the under was something I was looking at. Now, at first, when I woke up this morning, I liked the Pacers at the big number. I did, and then I talked myself out of it. They're on the second half of a back-to-back. Bogdanovich looked good, led the team in scoring. Sabonis is playing out of this world. But the Pacers are 0-2 in the second half of back-to-backs this year. They don't have Miles Turner. They don't have a ton of depth. What is the over-under at right now?
Well, I bet it at, I think I got 216. No, I think I got 216.5. It's now down to 215 or 215.5. I will make that one an official play. Under 215.5 minus 105 is the current line at Pinnacle. Wish I was getting the 217 that I bet it at, but I'll take it where it is right now.
Yeah, Never Faded says Cavs will win. Rose back in the lineup. Justin Searcy says who is going to score for the Cavs. Big Easy VZ, my man Big Easy VZ says Cleveland's defense is poo. Justin Searcy says, have the Cavs covered this season?
I think they did have one cover, I believe. Let me quickly check. All right, so Jim, yeah, we got a lot of games. Do you want to make a decision? Do you want to think about it? What do you want to do here?
I think you are on the right track. I think that the Cavs will clamp down defensively, and it scares me to have faith in that.
Yeah. By the way, the Cavs are 1-6 ATS, 0-4 ATS at home.
Wow, 1-6, 0-4. I would like to come back to this game.
Okay, we'll come back to it. All right, now let's get to one other game that I want to get your take on, Jim. I was thinking about, and I did bet it, and it's moved a little bit against me, but that's okay. I was thinking about a shot with the over in Houston, New York. Now, at some point, I know this is like maybe a fool's what's the word for that when you're a fool? A fool's
paradise?
Pursuit? I don't know, fool's pursuit or something like that. At some point, the shots have to start falling for Houston, right? And when they do, they're going to start scoring a lot more. Is that going to happen in tonight's game? I was thinking maybe yes. This is a very low total, I think, in general for a D'Antoni coach team. I took the over when it was 213. Now it's down to 212. What's your take on that one?
I think that is a good call. They've shot 38.7% from the field in these last 2 losses, and they're getting healthier. And then they will be back. So only Chris Paul will be missing from the lineup. Ariza will be hitting his corner threes. Eric Gordon's feeling better. I agree. And Porzingis is shooting incredibly well.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm on the same thing. When are the Rockets going to start scoring? And I have that question here. When are they going to start scoring? And is now the time to take them to cover?
I will. I'll take this on the over 212 minus 106. Houston, New York, over 212 minus 106. That's an official pick. Jim, do you want to make an official pick on this game?
I think that's a good bet. I think that's a very good bet. I really like it, and I am going to tail it.
Okay, all right. Jim tailing it. Houston and the Knicks over 212 minus 106, the current line at Pinnacle. I bet it at 213 on the overnight line, and the line has moved against me. We will see where it closes. All right, we got a whole lot of games, Jim. So far, let's see. You have the Clips first half, the Clips minus 9.5, and the Clips over 203, Minnesota plus 2, and Houston Knicks over 212. I'm on the Clippers first half, the Dallas team total under, the Houston over 212, and the Indiana Cleveland under 215.5. Jim, what else do you want to add on here?
I have a couple games that I really like a lot. Let's see here. First off, Let me see. This isn't the game. I'm still going to make an official pick, I think, unless I get talked out of it by you. But Kings at Celtics. Celtics have won 5 straight since losing their first 2 games of the year. They've held all 5 opponents to under 100 points. They are second in the NBA, allowing 94.9 points per game. They are playing for each other. Kyrie is happy, and the Kings look awful. They look terrible. They went 2 for 14 from 3 in last night's loss to Indiana. I think they're going to continue their shooting troubles. Who cares that the Kings are 5-1 in their last 6 at Boston? But I'm going to take the under in this game. I know that, is the line kept moving down?
No, it's actually moved up a tiny bit. It's now, of course, we use 10 o'clock a.m. Lines sharp, and it's 198.5, a split line, 198 or 198.5. So we can give you 198.5 minus 110.
I like it.
You want it?
I want it.
Okay, Boston under 198.5 minus 110. I was thinking about a shot with maybe the Boston team total over. I don't know what I think about the overall total on the game, but I was definitely thinking about the Boston team total over, and that is 105.5 minus 107. That is pretty tempting there. So I'm only partially disagreeing with you. I was thinking about and that was just a lean, and obviously the team totals weren't out last night, so I haven't bet that one yet, but I probably will bet that one. I was thinking about the team total over as making a play. What do you think about that?
Well,
that's what I'm thinking about.
I think it's a good play. Delta 7575 says Celtics will score 110 by themselves. Adam Morin says Kings are bad and played a slow pace. Under is the call. Tolmore has come in and says Boston has been the best defensive team in the league the last 6 games. That's
the thing, is that Boston is although the game against the Spurs did go over, but so that's a tricky one. I was Sacramento on a back-to-back kind of plays at a slow pace, and Boston strong defensively, but I was also thinking about the Boston team total over, so that's a tricky one.
Patricia Gilbert has come in and said Boston over. Delta 7575 said Boston doesn't go over 105. They won't cover 13 anyways.
I don't know about that. I could easily see a 103-85 type game where they,
That is something that I'm thinking is quite possible here.
All right, so Jim, let's see. What else do we have in the NBA? So we've added the under on that one for you. Another one that is, all these games are interesting. Let's get to the Portland-Utah game. I got burned taking Portland last game. I bet it. I didn't give it as a pick because I caught it after the show, but I did wind up betting it at -2. It closed way higher than that in the Donnie Rightside show that we did in the middle of the show. Matt Holt told us that during the show, and coincidentally right after I said I liked it, there came in a $50,000 sharp bet from a sharp account on Portland, and of course they got absolutely blown out. An embarrassing result from Portland. Utah's been excellent at home. My sense is, though, that it might be a bounce back spot here for Portland. I was thinking maybe about taking Portland plus the points or the team total over. I know Utah's been very strong defensively recently, but they held down Dallas, who can be held down. They held down the Lakers, who can be held down, and it's a modest team total for Portland. So I was thinking about the over there. This is an interesting game, Jim. What do you have to say about this one?
The Blazers' offense has been questionable, 24th in the league, 42.8% from the field. I agree with you. They will turn it around. They scored 6 points in the second quarter against the Raptors. I like this Jazz team. I think there's value with the Jazz team. Their defense is the best in the league, allowing just 93.1 points per game. Forced 24 turnovers in their win over the Mavs. 24 turnovers. I mean, that's partly good defense in a shitty Mavs squad. The Jazz have shot better than 45% from the field the last 2 games, with at least 5 guys scoring in double digits. I like the Jazz here.
You want to make an official pick?
I do.
Oh, really? Okay, so we can give you a -3.5, -110, or -4 plus 102 at Pinnacle. Which would you prefer?
I will take -3.5.
Okay, Jim, on Utah, -3.5, -110. Can't quite say I disagree with that. I was just thinking that Portland at some point is going to be a team that I'm going to be looking to bet on. This might not be the spot, though, but I'm definitely looking for spots to play on Portland in the somewhat near future. We'll see. And then let's see, two other interesting games we got to get to, because we also have a college football game that we will get to. But I have to ask about in Atlanta and Philly. Philly, of course, has been rolling, dominating. Atlanta's been terrible ATS-wise. So is a play on Philadelphia on the first half or the full game just an easy no-brainer play, or is it a super trappy sucker play? What do you think?
Easy no-brainer play.
You think so, huh?
Easy no-brainer play. play. An already weak Hawk roster is trying to get by without Miles Plumlee, Ersan Ilyasova, and Deandra Bembry. They are in deep trouble. The 76ers want to change things. They're going to want to blow teams out. They want to change the whole vibe in that building. This is the first time the Sixers have won in Dallas and Houston in the same season since 2001. That team made the NBA Finals, right? Led by Speedy Claxton and Pepe Sanchez. But they're 0-2 at home. So they're going to want to beat them by over 20 points. I love the Sixers full game. I'm not going to take the first half. I'm just going to take the full game.
Okay.
Just in case they do come out a little slow, they're going to want to destroy this Hawks team. They're going to want to beat them badly.
Okay. Philly -8, -105. Yeah, I was thinking about that one as well. It just seems a little bit too obvious, but you don't think so, huh?
I don't think so, and it's because the 76ers team needs to destroy teams now. And they're 0-2 at home.
Yeah.
I think this is a perfect concoction. This is an easy win.
Okay, you might be right there. Yeah, and I was thinking about the Philly team total over, which is 109, All right, so we are getting up there. All right, Jim, is there anything else you want to add on?
Well, a couple guys don't like what I've done here. You know,
with Philly.
Delta 75 says no, don't lay points with 76ers. Not a winning formula. Tomor says I think Philadelphia is a tough team to lay points with. They haven't won any games by 8 or more, and they're coming off a big victory. Houston, Atlanta doesn't have talent, but they have a system in Budenholzer. I think that they need to change everything. I think they're gonna try to win by 20 points. They haven't won at home. They're gonna be hungry to do this.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we got you at -8, -105. We do have to get to the college football game before we wrap the show up. So Jim, is there anything else you want to add to your NBA?
Yes, I do. I want to add the Charlotte Hornets. I think this is a good spot. Cody Zeller is back, and that's a huge difference because when Dwight Howard plays 30 minutes a game, the Hornets can beat a lot of teams. Yeah. When he plays 40 minutes a game, they're going to get exposed. They're going to lose. Cody Zeller's back, had 11 points, 8 rebounds in 19 minutes. I like him. I'm a big Frank Kaminsky fan as well. The Bucks have beaten the Hornets 3 straight. I don't care. Bucks are on the second half of a back-to-back. Yes, they lost badly to the Thunder last night. Maybe they're going to be hungry. But the team just doesn't have a lot of depth. Giannis scored 29. No other Buck had more than 9 points. The 11 Bucks not named Antetokounmpo went 23 for 62 from the field. Now the road team has won 7 of the last 10 meetings between these two. I'm not concerned. I'm taking the Hornets by the spread. Okay, -3.5, -107 is the line we can give you there. And is that it for NBA for you, Jim? Let's see. I have nothing on Suns Wizards. I have I think that I'm going to leave the Pacers Cavs game alone, even though I think you are on the right track. I have nothing with the Bulls Heat. I mean, we're wondering if Whiteside will return, and that's a big deal. Oh, yes, I do have one, but there was no line. Has that changed? Yes, that's changed. Okay, yes, I would like to take the Grizz.
Okay, -4.5, -110. -4.5 plus 100 at BetOnlineSportsBetting.ag, unless you want to wait for the Pinnacle opener.
No, that sounds great. -4.5 plus 100. Grizzlies coming off the first home loss of the season to the Hornets. They shot 34.3% from the field, 22.9% from 3. Conley and Gasol went a combined 8 for 33 from the field, 2 for 15 from 3. That's not going to happen twice in a row. I read some interesting stats about the Grizzlies' pace of play, because we've talked a lot about that.
Yes.
So we know that they've sped it up, but they're still the 3rd slowest pace of play in the league. They're 3rd in defensive scoring average, 1st in field goal percentage allowed. They are not much different than they were last year. Maybe the Fizdale sped it up a tiny, tiny bit. Now, yes, Orlando looked good, beating the Pelicans by 16 on the road. And they're scoring at a rate they can't keep up. There's just no possible way the Magic can keep this up. Fournier shooting 55.6 from 3. Aaron Gordon shooting 59.1 from 3. Last year he shot 28.85 from 3. Magic have lost 9 straight at Memphis, and they're going to lose again tonight.
Okay, so is that it for you, Jim?
I believe that's it. So we have Rockets, Knicks, Timberwolves. I'm not making a play on the Raptors, Nuggets. I've got the Jazz. I've got the Clips. Yeah, those are my plays.
All right, so we got to quickly review all the NBA stuff. Jim's on the Clippers first half. The Clippers full game -9.5, and the Clippers over 203. Minnesota +2. Utah -3.5. Houston Knicks over 212. Charlotte -3.5. Boston under 198.5. Philly -8, and Memphis -4.5 plus 100. A ton of of NBA picks from Jim, and I'm on the Clippers first half, the Dallas team total under, Houston Knicks over 212 minus 106, and Indiana Cleveland under 215.5 minus 105. So a lot of picks, NBA picks from me, a ton of NBA picks from Jim, and I hope it all comes out in the wash. We're up a couple units when we're sitting here tomorrow, Jim. What do you think about that?
That's what we always hope for.
Yes. All right, so let's move on to football now. I did give a couple of picks in the Al McMorty shows, so I should alert people to that. I did give a play in the Penn State Michigan State game. Of course, I'm starting off the week with a nice winner on Bowling Green last night, -3. That one cashed easily, and just like what I said, the line was like 3, 2.5, whatever. I said if my read on the game is accurate, it won't matter 3 or 2.5. You remember when I said that, Jim?
I do.
And yes, they blew them out. We covered Penn State, Michigan State with Al McMorty, and in that video, I did give the under 48 at minus 107. So that I added onto my official slate. And then we also covered a couple of NFL games, and I gave Arizona -2 and the Arizona San Francisco under 39.5 minus 110 as 2 picks with Al McMorty, and McMorty agreed with the Arizona -2 picks. So those are 2 picks that those are a bunch of picks that I've added in NFL tonight. Central Michigan against Western Michigan is the game, and I did bet this one on the overnight line last night. I did bet it I did bet Central Michigan. This is a huge game, a huge rivalry game here, Jim. Central Michigan against Western Michigan, and Central Michigan's getting healthier. Western Michigan, of course, lost their starting quarterback. I don't think that's a problem, but I don't think it's as huge of a problem as people think, but I like Central Michigan here anyway, and I did bet it. I am seeing 4.5 of the Greek, which is a little bit concerning because that means that the Greek indicates the Greek has a lean to a Western Michigan, which I understand. Western Michigan's a tough team, and that quarterback is a lot more mobile than the guy that went down. So I'm not exactly sure that Western Michigan's going to take that huge of a hit offensively. They're going to be obviously running it a lot more, but they might be very effective. But I would definitely be leaning Central Michigan, definitely at 4.5. And I was also thinking about a shot with the over, although there are some concerns with weather there as well. Do you have anything to say about this one before I decide whether I want to add this one onto my official record or not, Jim?
Fire up, Chips.
What? You like what?
I think Central Michigan's the play. I'm not going to make an official pick on it, but they look good against Ball State. This is a tough matchup. Mm-hmm. They played well on the road this year. It's a good sign. I think you're on the right track, and I don't think the Broncos' 30-year-old punter is going to get in the way of any of this. Nice to be in college at 30 years old, you know?
Yeah, yes.
I think you're on the right track. I think Central Michigan is the play.
Okay, yes, I will take it, and I will take the Greek line, which is 4.5. So I will add Central Michigan plus 4.5. Minus 110, hoping that it's going to be a tight game because I'm not sold on Western Michigan taking a massive hit offensively with that new quarterback. Although they might, so I'll take Central Michigan plus 4.5 minus 110 as an official pick. Want to get down to a bunch of these comments here. Do you have anything else to say about anything we've talked about today? While we got to go. We got to wrap it up. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're in a good spot. I'm looking forward. This is a huge card today. I'm really looking forward to tonight. Mm-hmm.
Okay, sounds good. I'm just looking at some of these comments here. Let's see. Sean Thomas says, don't think Western Michigan is winning. Yeah, obviously the line opened at 7, so a huge move in favor of Central Michigan, but that's probably because of the injuries. Let's see. I'm looking at all the comments here.
We have a new name. We're Loshak.
Nice. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Or Bag Shack. That's even cooler, actually. Let's see. Drew Martin. Wow, Drew Martin likes Western Michigan minus 3.5. I mean, yeah, they're a tough team. It's just a rivalry game. I think Central Michigan's getting a little bit healthier, and wow, Drew Martin likes Western Michigan. I mean, that's not a great sign, but I'm on him a plus 4.5. I did bet Central Michigan on that one. We'll see how it turns out. And let's see.
Matt96 wants to know what I think about Gunrunner. I think Gunrunner will win the Breeders' Cup Classic on Saturday night and make me a lot of money. I'm much more worried about West Coast than I am worried about Arrowgate, although I've heard Arrowgate is training well.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of people talking about SBR. A lot, just so many comments here. I don't even know where to start. I'm scanning. I'm reading. All right, I guess we can. Justin Searcy says, Pete, can you tweet your picks? You talk really fast. LOL. Yeah, I would like to. I do everything really fast because it's just. And then college basketball hasn't even started yet. That's when shit gets mind blowing. You know what I mean? That's when shit starts getting psychedelic. That's when you start hallucinating at 1:30 a.m. on a Tuesday night, handicapping a massive college basketball Wednesday slate of games.
There's one guy here very interested in if we like Houston or New York in the game.
No play on that one, just because of a lot of uncertainty surrounding both teams, actually. But,
I agree. There's so much volatility, but I do have the over plus 212, and that line's gone down from 213.5.
All right. Let's wrap it up. It's been a successful show. I wish you could get to more of the comments because I love answering them. I love reading the positive comments and clapping for them. But it's been a huge slate of games. Jim and I have given a ton of picks. Jim has just all these NBA picks. We'll see how it all turns out. In the NHL, Jim and I are mostly on the same picks, so I hope that that's not a jinx, that we come out positive there. Jim has a play on MLB. I have a play on the college football game. And let's wrap it up. We'll be back tomorrow for the Thursday card.